nothing wouldn't be. You can't have fucking nothing isn't. Everything is.
Hey bud, thanks for checking me out again. If you're here, sticking through my cringy phase, and I genuinely thank you for that. So, paradoxes. Paradoxes are to reality what magic tricks are to perception. They're fun little deceptions that take advantage of limited perspective to sell an illusion. Something that isn't. Something that seems to be, but isn't. The only difference is when you break down a magic trick, nobody wins. But when you break down a paradox, everyone does. Paradoxes, like magic tricks, indicate faults in logic and perception, errors in judgment. They indicate the assumptions we make about the things around us. And it creates errors and makes things appear the way they aren't. What it makes the is isn't, or at least it seems to. And with that, let's get started on the first paradox. This one, if you want to, you could call it baby's first paradox. Everybody knows this one. You saw it in the thumbnail. Bow! There we go. This sentence is a lie. Now, what is a lie? A lie is a false statement made with deliberate intent. That's important. Now, does this have intent? Does this sentence have an intent? No. This sentence is neither a truth or a lie. So is this sentence a lie? No. It's a sentence. It's a number of letters on a whiteboard. This is ink on whiteboard. Look, this lie comes right off. Do lies rub off? No. I'm just kidding. But in all seriousness, that is not a paradox. It seems to be, because as soon as you see a statement like this that seems to make an assertion, you want to prove or disprove it. So what does the assertion seem to be? Lie. And what is the subject of the assertion? The sentence. So is the sentence a lie? Well, let's ask. Let's assume it is. Breaks. The sentence breaks. If you assume the sentence is a lie, then it's not a lie. And if you assume the sentence is true, then it would have to be lying. See, this paradox is based in assumptions. When you assume things either are one thing or the other, you very easily open yourselves up to paradoxes like this. The lesson here is not to assume things are one way or the other. Sometimes they're neither. Sometimes they're both. Sometimes they're a third option. So just keep your options open and don't just label stuff broken and paradoxical. This sentence can be no more a lie than it can be hungry, sleepy, tired, or forgetful. We can personify a sentence in this way. We can write a sentence in such a way that it gives off this emotion. But the sentence itself is not hungry, sleepy, angry, tired, a lie, true, any such. It represents these things. So, moving right along. Paradox number 2. The Barber Paradox. There's a good chance you heard of that one too. It goes like this. There's a town, and in this town, there is but one barber. And this barber cuts the hair of every single man who does not cut their own hair. So who cuts the barber's hair? Whoa! Whoa! My God! Oh, paradox! My mind is so blown right now, you guys. Oh! Well, there are so many solutions to this, it blows my mind. But first question you gotta ask yourself is, was that the barber cuts the hair of every man who does not cut their own hair? Is that a law or rule? Or is it a statement? Because if it's a statement, the answer is obvious. The barber has long hair that he never cuts. The barber is growing their hair as long as they want it, straight hippy-dippy style. And there's nothing wrong with that. Or the barber leaves town for his haircuts. That's still possible too. Anyway. So, alternatively, That's if it was a statement. What if it's a rule? What if the mayor of this town made that a law? Well, you know what they accomplished? They made it illegal for the barber to get haircuts. That's all they accomplished. They made a broken rule through a lack of foresight that didn't include the barber. If that was a town hall meeting and somebody said, who's going to cut the barber's hair? The mayor would go, oh, obviously. Okay, barber, you can cut your own hair. Or Fred, you cut barber's hair. Or whatever. See, being wrong is not paradoxical. It's just wrong. So, paradox number 3. The crocodile paradox. This one's real old. There's a man, a father, walking and carrying his son next to a river with crocodiles in it. He drops his son, the son lands in the water, and a crocodile grabs him up. And the man goes, hey, bud, if you don't mind terribly, could I just get that kid back? Like, I'd prefer it that way. My wife would be eternally grateful. The crocodile looks him in the face and says, tell you what, got a game for you. Play a game. If you can guess whether or not I will return your son, and you guess correctly, I'll return your son. And that creates a paradox. Now this one, I do have to demonstrate visually. I know this isn't the fanciest, but I works with what's I gots. Anyway, so if you'll excuse me, I'm just going to turn it this way because it's much easier to write. So here you have 2 options. 1, keep. The crocodile keeps the child. And the other option, return. Crocodile returns the child. Keep, return, right? Here's the child. Now, if the father says, yes, you will return the child, he's got a 50-50 chance, and it's not a paradox. It's when the father says, no, you will keep the child. When the father says you will keep the child, let's assume the crocodile was intending to, in fact, keep the child. Oh, would you look at that? You're right. So I guess I'll return the child to you. Wait. You said I'd keep him, and here I am returning him. Wait, go over here. Wait. Now I'm keeping the child, and that's what you said, so I'll give him back. Wait, hang on. Okay, one more time. I'm sure it'll work this time. Wait, no, almost there. Hang on. We'll figure this out, bud. Don't worry. We don't got to call any lawyers. We got this solved. And that's the paradox. People believe this to be a paradox. But it's not. There's a number of assumptions going forward in order to keep this a paradox. First and foremost, you have to assume the infallibility of the gator crocodile. You have to assume that this gator cannot, will not, and is not lying. Then in that case, if we go ahead and assume that, this is still a broken paradox. It's still messed up. This is just a broken game. This is a cheated game. These are rigged odds. See, let's look at it from another angle. Angle. I'm the crocodile. You drop your son in the river. I'm like, oh, I'm going to make a decision about this right here. I'm going to make a decision. And I'm going to make a decision on what to do with this child. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to tell me what you think I'm going to do. And if you got it right, I'll give your child back. And if you got it wrong, I'm going to eat him. And then the person guesses. Now, in order for this game to be fair, there has to be an actual correct answer. You can't make a game with a winner or a loser on a situation that has not occurred. That's stupid. That's like, okay, analogies off the top of the head. Here we go. That's like, if you walk up to your buddy and you're like, hey, Fred, what are you doing? And your buddy goes, oh, not much, just deciding whether or not I'm going to make a hamburger. Oh, right on, Fred, that's awesome. You going to make up your mind anytime soon? Yeah, I'm just waiting to see whether or not it has pickles on it first. Fuck, Fred. That's just somebody being an idiot. That's not a paradox. It's just a stupid person. I mean, it is kind of a paradox, but you see what I'm getting at here. I do believe that was actually the... Wait, I don't believe it was. Ooh, yes it was. That was, in fact, the last paradox I had intended to talk about. But I have one more idea. I'll be quick. I don't think I'm too long. I think this video is much more on topic, so we'll be okay. Last paradox is Fermi's paradox. Now this one I could come at from a bunch of different angles. I've tweeted about it. There's only one I'm going to say here though. And it's a new one that I haven't suggested yet. Somebody else may have. Fermi's paradox is as such. Given that the universe is so large, there should be life other than us. There should be life on other planets, and yet we haven't found any. And that's a paradox. More specifically, to go a little bit more in detail, they say, well, there are X number of planets similar to Earth, and there's X number of this and that and the other thing. Now I ask you this. Do we know every single factor that led to Earth sustaining life? Do we know why Earth sustains life? Exactly every single detail? I doubt that very much. For all we know, good Lord Tundra and Jesus himself might have fired some kind of knowledge seed into some cluster of cells, and that sprouted life, and that's why it's not anywhere else. But here is the point that I'm going to make. You can't extrapolate on a single variable. You can't make a mathematical equation, especially about percentages, probabilities, and statistics, with a single variable. No matter how big this planet we're on is, no matter how similar it is to another one, we can't create a percentage out of that. That's like if I got in my spaceship and I fucking flew to Mars, and then I came back down here and I'm like, hey guys, I have calculated scientifically that there is a 50% chance of life on every single other planet because we are one of 2 of the planets that I had visited. We had life, 50-50. No, because then you can go on to 9 more planets and be like, oops, my apologies. It's actually 1 in 10, and then more, 1 in 100. You cannot make a percentage out of a single variable. They're ratios. And that's where I'm going to leave it. But I do have one more concept for you. Do you know what a paradox looks like when it's not in the human consciousness? Typically, paradoxes are an error in our perception, an error in the way we see things. They're a lack of looking at things from the right angles. They indicate an error. Do you know what a paradox looks like when it's not a logical error in the human brain? Do you know what a paradox looks like outside of the physical realm, although it technically operates in a physical way? I do. I can show you. It's super easy. Check it out.
Hey Alexa, this sentence is a lie.
That sentence must be neither true nor false.
Oh.
That's surprising, because it looks meaningful, and we are used to meaningful sentences being one or the other.
You would say that now that I'm done, wouldn't you?